Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, here's a thought. What if the thing we spend most of our lives trying to avoid pain is actually, maybe, our greatest asset?
It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Completely. But that's what we're exploring today.
Yeah, we're looking at excerpts from The Alchemist of Adversity, turning pain into power. And the whole mission here is to see how how it can actually be a tool, a powerful one.
And right off the bat, the source hits you with this. Pain isn't your enemy. It's framed as a secret weapon.
Or a gym for your mind, even the fire that burns away weakness. It's a total reframing.
It really is. Because usually the instinct is just run, numb it somehow.
Exactly. That's what the material points out. Most people do. They escape. They use distractions like booze, scrolling, excuses, you know the drill.
Anything but feel the discomfort.
Right. It's almost automatic.
But then there's this contrast, this champion's approach, as the source puts it.
Yeah, they do something different when life, punches them in the face.
They don't just take a break?
No. They convert pain. They're apparently taking notes, not breaks, turning that hit into something useful.
Taking notes.
Okay.
And this connects to that idea you mentioned earlier, pain as an invoice. And that's where it gets really interesting, right?
It is a fascinating metaphor. Heartbreak, betrayal, getting rejected for a job.
Yeah.
The idea is these aren't just like failures. They're presented as the price you paid, an invoice for something you get in return.
A return. What kind of return?
Yeah.
Wisdom, resilience.
Exactly that. It's like tuition, for lessons you wouldn't learn otherwise. And the biggest return, the source argues, is clarity.
Clarity. How so?
Well, pain strips away the superficial stuff. It shows you what really matters. It helps you see the fakes around you, maybe even the weak parts of your own character.
Oof. That sounds tough, but valuable.
It is. The source says it sharpens you like a blade. Intense clarity comes from intense experiences.
And you see this in action, don't you? The source mentions people like Jeff Bezos.
Right, being laughed at for wanting to sell books online. Seems crazy now, but back then.
Or Muhammad Ali, running at 4 a.m. These huge figures faced resistance, faced discomfort.
They absolutely did. And the key takeaway isn't just that they endured it. It's that they transformed it. They used that adversity.
Okay, so we see that it's possible. Bezos, Ali, they leveraged it. But for someone listening right now, maybe going through something tough, how? How do you actually make that switch? What are the strategies?
Good question. The material lays out 4 specific methods to turn pain into, profit, as it calls it.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, turn emotion into energy. So that raw feeling, anger, sadness, frustration, instead of letting it paralyze you or make you lash out, you channel it. You build, lift, write, sell. You basically convert that intense emotional fuel into productive output.
So redirecting the fire, basically. Got it.
What's next? Second, use the setback as fuel. This one's interesting. You you save every betrayal, metaphorically speaking.
Stack them. Like remember them.
Yeah, but not to be bitter. The idea is to let your eventual success, your actions, be the response. As the source says, sometimes silence speaks louder than revenge. You let your results do the talking, fueled by those past slights.
That requires some serious patience.
Yeah.
Not just reacting immediately.
Exactly. Strategic patience. Third strategy, make pain your brand.
Make pain your brand. How does that work? Sounds a bit like show enough your wounds.
Not quite like that. It's more about owning your story. If you've been through something hard like being broke or overweight or facing prejudice, that journey, that scar, becomes proof of your resilience.
Ah, I see. So it's about authenticity.
Yes, it shows you're real, you've overcome something, and apparently people pay attention when the underdog bites back. Your struggle becomes relatable, inspiring.
Okay, that makes sense. Turning vulnerability into a strength.
Yeah.
And the last one?
The fourth is keep a ruthless journal. Document everything, the suffering, the doubts, the small wins, the lessons learned.
Why ruthless?
Maybe be ruthless in its honesty. You don't sugarcoat it. Because the idea is one day those notes become your blueprint, your book, your business. It's your personal R&D department.
Wow. Okay. Emotion to energy, setback is fuel, pain is brand, and ruthless journaling. That's quite a toolkit.
It really is. And if you sort of zoom out, connect these ideas, the overarching message seems pretty clear.
Which is?
That strength and suffering are linked. The source puts it bluntly. There is no strength without suffering, no empire without enemies, and no profit without pain.
So, for you listening, What does all this actually mean? Maybe it means stop trying so hard to escape the storm.
Maybe it means learning to work with it.
Or even, as the source suggests, become the storm, turning every tear into tactics, every bruise into a blueprint, every loss into leverage.
It's a powerful shift in perspective.
It really is. It makes you look back at every failure, every rejection completely differently, doesn't it? Because the final thought here is pretty potent. In a world of comfort, your pain is your power.
And those who learn to own it become unstoppable.